Hello guys, welcome to my channel, Riding Solo. I'm your host, Dion, and this channel is going to be focused on new riders and their experience and progress in learning how to ride, and also for any moto enthusiast that loves motorcycles. So with that being said, let's swing a leg over two wheels and go for a ride. Welcome back to the channel, Riding Solo. I'm your host, Dion, and today's topic is, those guys are weird. Today's topic is the top 4 best intermediate beginner bikes. So with that list of 4, I've reviewed one of these, and I kind of listed off a list of its competitors of the bikes that this was competing with. And so with that being said, we'll go ahead and get into number 4, which is a Suzuki 8R. And this bike has really been selling well. It's very popular. It's a beautiful bike. It's got all the latest tech. I had to give it a little gas there. I was feeling it. Yeah. But the Suzuki 8R is a really good bike. Is a really reliable engine. You're not gonna have any quality problems, any build quality problems. Maintenance is gonna be cheap on it. So, you know, this bike is really doing well. And I see not a ton of them, but I definitely see a lot of them on the road. Like I said, it's one of the best up-and-coming bikes right now. It's popular. It gets good reviews online. All the motorcycle journalists give good reviews on it, and it's priced really good as well, which is what, you know, is appealing to beginners. You know, they want something that's affordable. You know, obviously. It comes in a few cool colors. You know, I like that that yellow one they have. That's a really good color. They come in like blue. So really good color schemes for them. You know, it's got all the latest bells and whistles, you know, TFTs and quick shifters and stuff. So, you know, ABS, you know, pretty premium features. You know, it's definitely not a basic motorcycle. And like I said, the reason why I say intermediate beginner bike is because it's got a little bit more horsepower than the standard, you know, traditional beginner bikes that are making 50 horsepower, 47 horsepower. So it's got a little bit more spiciness to it. So with that being said, I mean, somebody has to lose, somebody has to win. So, but like I say, Suzuki is a really the 8R is a really good bike. You know, you can't go wrong with it compared to a lot of the other upper-mediate bikes. With that being said, we'll give you guys number 3 on that list, and that is the CF Moto 675 SS. So, man, like I said, man, I can literally not say anything wrong about CF Moto. These guys are making really good high quality bikes, really affordable bikes. I mean, they having these bikes like $600, $700, $900. I mean, that is crazy, bro. And then now I just heard they're coming out with like a 750 SS or something like that. And it's probably gonna be like $9,000, man. It's gonna be crazy. So it's probably gonna be a lot cheaper than, you know, the traditional super sport middleweight bikes, you know, that are traditionally around in between 12 and 13,000 or so. So with that being said, the 675 SS is, it's got like brake coolant ducts, man. It's got like, man, it's got some crazy features on there, really high quality premium features. And like I said, I saw one yesterday on the street and it just looks very beautiful. The winglets, you know, it's very aerodynamic. It's got the, you know, compact like brake tail lights and all that kind of stuff. So it's a really cool bike, man. It's making like 95 horsepower, which is crazy. Triple engine, which is gonna have that low down torque that you want, you know. So with that being said, I mean, that bike is a, you know, an intermediate beginner bike. You know, let's say somebody has a 450 SS or like a 300 SS and they want to move up, the 675 is the best choice, you know. And I heard rumors about, you know, a lot of people that love CF Moto, they're gonna come out with that true middleweight super sport bike, and then I heard they coming out with like a leader bike. I think I want to say it's like a V4, which probably is gonna be a lot cheaper than most leader bikes. I can almost guarantee that right now. So CF Moto's killing the game. You know, if I was on a budget and wanted a really high quality bike, I would definitely buy the CF Moto, the 675 SS. It's a beautiful bike, absolutely beautiful bike. With that being said, the next one on the list, I would probably say is at number 2 is the Yamaha R7. The Yamaha R7 has also been an extremely popular bike. I mean, when it came out, it was killing the game. You know, Yamaha is very good about making a beautiful, aesthetically pleasing bike. They always throw the kitchen sink at like the TFT displays, and just being able to customize the bike how you want it. I mean, Yamaha, you know, like Ducati and a lot of the other premium brands, like you could literally go in every traction, you could adjust it. Wheelie control, you know, engine braking, all they bikes have, you could literally adjust it how you want. And some bikes, you know, they have like power modes and, you know, traction controls or low power, full power. So it's kind of integrated into those power modes, and you can't specifically go in there and change them. So with that being said, Yamaha really does a good job at that. You know, Yamaha has that racing heritage, so you could expect a really good handling bike, a really good nimble bike, which it's a Japanese bike. That engine's reliable and bulletproof. You know, like I said, all the Japanese engines are really good. They're not going to give you quality problems. Maintenance cost is going to be low. It's not going to be a fortune. It's going to be affordable. So like I said, the Yamaha, I see those R7s a lot. It's a very popular bike. It's very sporty, very light, very narrow. I haven't test rode one yet, but I want to try and get one test rode. I just left the dealer. They told me they'd call me back and let me know about the R7. But I really want to test ride that bike so I can compare it to all these bikes I'm talking to, so I can give you guys a fair comparison. Because like I said, for some reason on YouTube, and this happened when I was a beginner, I'd go on there looking for researching bikes, brands that I wanted, that I liked it, that I could afford. And the Japanese bikes get zero love. Like, man, they get like zero love unless it's like like some kind of special edition, high price, fancy bike. Like, let's say for example, like the Honda, the Fireblade Triple R SP. You know, I mean, you see a lot of videos on that bike all the time. You see a lot of videos on R1Ms. You know, the ZX10RR. You see a lot of those special edition bikes that nobody can afford online. But as far as the basic ones, they don't really get any love, man. They don't get any love. So I'm gonna try my best to kind of share the love and review not only the Japanese bikes, and I'm gonna try and review every manufacturer from every weight class, from beginners to mid, to pretty much all of them. So that way all the information is out there for new riders, intermediate riders, expert riders. So those bikes are getting reviewed, because like I said, I feel like nobody's reviewing bikes anymore. So with that being said, that R7, the Yamaha R7, is is really priced right. Sometimes you can find it for like $1,000 less, but when it first came out, dealers were marking it up like $1,000. So it's kind of like the same thing with the R9. You know, the R9 is man, Yamaha hits the nail on the head every time. So with Yamaha, you won't be disappointed. Number one on my list, and I have my reasons for this. Like I said, I'm a little Kawasaki biased, like I always say, but at the same time, you have to pay respect for where it's due. The next number one on the list, I'd say, is the Kawasaki ZX 4RR. And the reason why I say that is because you got, when you put the exhaust on there, you flash it, ECU flash and tune, you get that 75, I think 75 horsepower, 85 horsepower. It's either one of them. Not sure. I've seen conflicting, information, but it's around that same horsepower as the Yamaha and all the rest of them. So I think the Yamaha R7 makes 72 horsepower. So these all are pretty in the same weight power class. So with that being said, that ZX 4RR, the reason why I put it at number one is for it's a little bit pricier than the rest of them, but you getting, Kawasaki, and I reviewed this bike, so that's why I'm saying this. They pretty much threw the kitchen sink at the technology, at the aerodynamics, the seat height, just the sportiness of it. They didn't skimp with it. It's got up and down quick shifter, low power mode, full power mode. They even got eco mode on this thing, dude. It's like, and not only that, the bike revs to 16,000 RPMs in an inline 400, bro. Nobody's doing that. Nobody. So with that being said, that bike, because it's revs at 16,000 RPMs, you're gonna have way more character. You're gonna have way more fear. The experience is gonna be like a true 600 because it revs so high. It's gonna be screaming. You're gonna get that performance. You're gonna feel that bike, So that's why I say I feel like that's the best, like, upper intermediate bike, beginner bike. So like I said, if a beginner don't want to start on a true traditional beginner bike and wants to get something a little bit more spicy, a little bit more horsepower, they could do that. So the ZX 4RR, with it revving so high, you're gonna feel like you're going fast everywhere. It's just a beautiful bike. Ergonomics is really good, really sporty. And like I said, it's really good if a beginner want to buy that for their first bike, and then also, let's say if they want to later on get into track riding, it's the perfect track weapon, dude. It is the perfect track weapon. Because some of these bikes, the red line's at like 10,500 RPMs. So I know me personally, when I'm riding my bikes, that higher RPM, I really can get in there and not have to worry about hitting the rev limiter. So with those bikes that don't have as many rev limits as the ZX 4RR, you just be bouncing off the rev limit, and that's kind of annoying. I'm not even gonna lie. So with all that being said, that's my top four best intermediate bikes. Thanks for tuning in to the channel Riding Solo. I really appreciate it. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in another video. Have a good one.